I know someone that knows you and said, ask him why he thinks silver is such a good investment.
Well, because there's when you look at a balance sheet here, okay, what most people have in their 401ks is cash. And I don't know if you know this, but the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, the T-bills, is how they steal your wealth. You know, every time you put your money in a Treasury bill, that's how they steal your wealth. So a Treasury bill is a thief. So that's why I say savers are losers. Now, the reason I like gold, silver, and Bitcoin is because they're outside the federal system. I've always been kind of a rebel. I don't want to be an insider. I want to be outside the Fed and the Treasury and the banking system. So every time I operate with gold, silver, or Bitcoin, any kind of crypto like Ethereum, I'm outside their system. So the reason silver is the best is I track it every day. I've been buying silver since 1964 and gold since 1973. So I'm a multi-millionaire in gold and silver, the real stuff. And I've also taken a silver mine public through an IPO in Toronto Stock Exchange. And I took a gold mine out of China through an IPO public in Toronto also. But the Chinese confiscated it because I found I made too much money. I don't like Chinese now. But anyway. But the whole point here is that gold and silver are God's money. They've been here since the earth was formed. The US dollar will be long gone before gold and silver go. Will be long gone before gold and silver go. And Bitcoin is people's money. Again, it's outside the central bank system. So I'm a student of economics and all that. Central bank is same as communism because a centrally controlled economy is communism. So a central bank is part of a communist system. So the reason I have gold, silver, and Bitcoin is I'm operating out. Now, silver is still 50% below its all-time high. So when gold just went up to 2,000, it dropped down to about 1,900 today. But when gold takes off, silver will follow. So what they say is gold knocks on the door, but when the door opens, silver goes through it. So my biggest gain is going to be through silver now at this time. 5 years from now, it may be different.
So should I buy?
So for a person without any money, a silver US Eagle, silver, it's about $25. I don't know anybody who can't afford $25. But the people who can't are people who are saving US dollars or yen or euro or pesos or whatever they save. Paper money is fake money. And that's why I wrote this book here. Fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets. And so that's my whole background is actually economics. Right? I'm not an economist. So I love gold and silver and Bitcoin because they operate outside what I consider a totalitarian system called the United States.
So should I get on the stock market and invest in silver or actually possess the unit of silver?
No, excuse me, I don't know what I did wrong here, but anyway. I only hold physical silver. I have some silver. I don't like the stock market because I've taken companies public. Either you're an insider or you're an outsider. So anybody who's got a stock, bond, mutual fund, or ETF or a bond, you're an outsider. I only invest in the inside. So that's why I like real estate, and that's why I like starting my own companies. So if you're gonna hold, depends. You can buy. I don't recommend it, but you can buy mining shares, and mining shares are higher leverage, but they're paper. I have some. But I've taken 2 companies public. I don't touch it. I know the stuff. I know it's manipulated. I know how they manipulate it. And that's why kind of spooky. But I wrote about it in Fake. I bought my first gold coin in Hong Kong because in 1973, it was illegal for an American to own gold. So my carrier group sailed into Hong Kong. And while other guys were chasing the wild women in Hong Kong, I was in the streets looking for gold. And I found a South African Krugerrand for about 50 bucks. And today that South African, I still have it. It's in storage in Switzerland. That South African Krugerrand is probably worth 2,500 bucks. And then I started collecting silver coins back in 1964. So I don't think you're probably too young, but there was Donald Duck and there was Scrooge McDuck. And Scrooge McDuck always had this gold and stuff like this. That was my hero.
He'd swim in it.
I have a lot of gold, but I keep it. I want everybody to know it's not at my house. It's kept in Switzerland and in Singapore because I don't want anybody to come and visit me.
Yeah, not only that, but if I had $10,000 laying around, I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. Would you recommend I go buy silver in weight, or I go to the commercials I see where the movie stars are saying buy silver and you get this gold eagle? Is it by weight I'm buying, or is it by the coin I'm buying?
Let me think a long way to answer your question. You know the story called The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
You know what Oz stands for?
Ounce. Is that right?
The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Anyway, so I buy coins by the ounce. And
so if I saw a gold eagle or a silver eagle coin and it was like, for example, 1 ounce, and I look at the market and it's $600 an ounce, let's say, and they want, because every time I've went to look at it, it's always more than the weight. Like, in other words, silver's at 600, let's say, and I know it wasn't, but let's say 600. And then I look at the coin and it's like, okay, that should be $600, but they want $799 because it's got a gold eagle on it. Now, how do I get the silver for the price that it's going for?
Well, there's a company that sells international. It's called Lair Capital, and I speak for them. So just FYI that. But the reason I like silver today is 25 bucks. And at one time it was 50 bucks. So when you look at, and it's moving up and down, silver is more volatile than gold. But I always say to people, everybody can afford 25 bucks, but they'd rather hold on to fake money that's printed by the Treasury. And
well, is that because I haven't saw a Walmart or a grocery store take 2 ounces of silver in exchange for my groceries?
That's partly it, but that's a very good question. Instead of saving in a bank account, which most people do, dollars, I hold gold and silver in a safe. And the reason for that is the most important word is liquidity. How fast can I convert, let's say, 1 ounce of silver into 25 bucks? Probably 20 minutes. You just go back to the coin dealer and say, I want to be cashed out for this. It's like going to Vegas. It's a chip, it's a token. That's all it is. You go up to the window and you say, oh, here's a $100 chip. I want 100 bucks. I mean, that's as fast as it is. It's called liquidity.
When I first moved to Vegas, I used to, pawn my shit. I'd go to the pawn shop with a gold bracelet and they would never give me what it's worth.
Yeah.
So where do you go get where it's worth what it's worth?
Well, no, that's reputable dealers and bad dealers. It's like anything else. Like, you can start with, go online, check out Lair Capital. I'm not endorsing them, but
LAIR.
I trust them, But there's coin dealers all over Vegas has lots of coin dealers. But what you got to be careful about is what most if you come in and you say, I'm a FNU guy, FNG, the Marine Corps called them. I don't know anything. They're going to sell you what's called a collectible coin, a numismatic coin. So this coin would normally be 20 bucks, but because it's in 1896, it's 50 bucks. Buy the $20 one.
Yeah.
Don't touch that's like going into an antique store and buying antique furniture. You don't know anything about antiques. So always buy the coin. No antiques, no numismatics.
Right now, between gold and silver, you think silver's a better investment?
Today.
Like
I said, it's 25 bucks. It used to be 50. Gold used to be 1900. Today is 1900. Which one has a bigger run?
Silver. However, why is it worth less? Is there more of it?
Yeah,
Nobody wants it. What's the
it's the
problem?
strangest thing, Brad. There's actually less silver in the world. And it's used, it's an industrial metal also. It means it's a precious metal which can be used as money. But it's industrial metal used in medicine, water purification, all batteries. As Tesla and electric cars comes up, silver's more in demand, as well as solar paneling. So silver is the supply of silver is dwindling. The problem is the futures market is a little bit more than you need to know, controlled by like Goldman Sachs and Bear Stearns and those guys. They've suppressed the price of silver. So that's why there's less silver than gold, less silver than Bitcoin. So the guys like me are just sitting there waiting. And then one day what they do is they sell it into the futures contract. So they sell it cheap to knock your price down today. And then they sell you these ETFs, which I don't touch. You can try, I don't like them. That's SLV and GLD. There's also GDX, which is for gold mining stocks. But it's all education, Brad. And the more you learn about it, you'll learn there's good and the bad and the ugly to the whole thing.
Would you recommend someone reading that book, Gooch? What was it called?
What's the name of it?
You said Gooch, maybe?
I don't know.
You had an acronym. It was gross under.
Crunch. No, I don't recommend that book. It's too abstract.
What book would you recommend? Because I get a lot of people hitting me up, and I know there's a lot of people listening right now. They've got a little discretionary income. They never know what to do with it. What confuses me about silver and gold is, like you said, savers or losers. So if I'm investing in silver so I can save it, well, I'm saving it. I'm just saving it in silver rather than in my bank account. But I can't. You say you get your money in 20 minutes. To me, it's like, if I have $10,000 worth of silver, now I got to find somebody that wants $10,000 worth of silver. And then I go to the dude that buys silver, and he's like, well, shit, dude, it's only worth $600. I'm not going to pay you $600 because then I won't make any money when I move it. They're not there for free. So now you're selling it as a discount just to get the money you already had.
Yeah, but you got to look at the macro, looking at the micro. The macro today is, back in 2008, the Fed had a debt of 850 billion. Today it's 7 trillion. They're printing more money faster than ever before. The only reason I buy gold and silver is because the Fed's printing trillions. And that used to be, when I was younger, I got 15% interest on my money. So it made no sense to own gold and silver. Today, you're lucky you get 0.7%, treasury.
What about real estate?
What's that?
Real estate. You got a shit ton of real estate, don't you?
Yeah, but real estate's debt, taxes, and it's not liquid. I want liquidity in my savings. So I have both. I have all of it. I have businesses and all this. But I save gold and silver and Bitcoin because they're liquid. So I find a reputable deal. I think the best book, I got it on tape, on Audible. It's called Why Gold, Why Now? Why Gold, Why Now? Very simple, very clear. The guy knows what he's talking about.